Welcome to Right Fit Leader, a podcast from Alec Broadfoot and the Hire with Confidence team at VisionSpark. This is where visionaries, entrepreneurs, and leaders learn how to hire leaders, lead better, and build teams that last. Through expert insights, real client stories, and conversations with top leaders, you will hear how we find A players for your business. This is Right Fit Leader.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Right Fit Leader podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Young, client strategist with VisionSpark, and I'm joined by a very special guest, someone I truly enjoy working with, Ryan Henry. Ryan Henry is a visionary, entrepreneur, coach, and collaborator. He is a visionary serial entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience founding and scaling businesses across real estate development, construction management, and business coaching. He's a partner with Gino Wickman and sits in the visionary seat of Entrepreneurial Leap. The Entrepreneurial Leap Academy helps early stage entrepreneurs gain clarity, confidence, and community through instruction, where they mentor, teach, and coach early stage entrepreneurs. Ryan is also an expert EOS implementer with over 500 sessions. He is a partner and navigator of the Entrepreneurial Media Company and the national chapter EOS Implementer of Energy, Entrepreneurial Networking Resource Group. Ryan loves to create, coach, and collaborate with entrepreneurs. Ryan truly loves entrepreneurs. When he's creating, coaching, and collaborating, he helps bring breakthroughs and true partnerships, self-managing businesses, new opportunities, and free zones free of competition. Ryan's personal passion is transforming entrepreneurs' lives. He does this by lighting the path to lifelong entrepreneurial mastery. At the heart of Ryan's work is his unique ability to create, coach, and collaborate, whether he's helping clients design self-managing businesses or cultivating communities rooted in trust and strategic alignment. Ryan remains dedicated to elevating every entrepreneur he works with, grounded in his core values, which are help first, do the right thing, do what you say, grow or die, humbly confident. Ryan is not just a coach, but a true partner in the journey towards entrepreneurial mastery. Welcome, Ryan. I am so excited to have you today.
That was great. Thanks. It's so good to be with you. I love it. You just get me hyped up thinking about the things you were saying. I'm like, oh, it's so humbling. It's just so great. I love it.
You've accomplished so much and helped so many people through your work. It's why I'm really excited to have you here today. As an expert EOS implementer, I know you work with visionaries who are serious about getting their business running on EOS so they can scale and grow. You're one of the best implementers out there, but please tell our listeners, what type of companies do you help with your work at Entrepreneurial Leap and through the academy that you have there?
Well, it's funny. I just want to say something about it because it sounds just so like, oh my God, wow, like implementer. Like I'm just teaching and coaching and facilitating what I needed the most. Gino always quotes Daniel Kennedy, we teach what we needed the most. And that's what I'm doing. And so I know what I needed. I know the kind of pain I was in back in 2008 when I first got introduced to EOS. Like I had knowing. We talk about having wisdom and insight, knowing. Like I know the nightmare. I know the pain of just suffering because I was just ignorant. Like I wasn't stupid. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to have a great partnership. I certainly didn't know how to have an operating system or implement an operating system. And so, just to say what you said from like a mark of where I'm at in my path of entrepreneur mastery, it's humbling to be here. I don't think I ever thought I might be here. I was so stuck in the nightmare that we talk about in eLeap. So it's truly a humbling thing, but I'm very confident I can help in that same regard. But, the way in is the way out. I'm still learning the same stuff I started learning back in 2008 when I first got exposed to Gino through traction, through EOS. And so, am I one of the best? Sometimes I'm just the dummy with the marker, and that's probably about 90% of the time. But I certainly love entrepreneurs. There's no doubt about that. And because I am one, and I understand how powerful it can be to be great at it. And I certainly want to be great. But I just know how powerful it can be not to be great at it. And if you have it, if you are an entrepreneur, just embrace it, take responsibility. And so I suppose that's where I'm at. So when you say all that stuff, I just suppose I've been taking responsibility and solving problems, for pretty good for the last, 17 years, and certainly a lot better than I used to be. So I thank you for the intro and what you said there. So, but back to your question, you were asking about eLeap. And so I'm just going to start, and I said some of it already, but I'll just start with our passion at eLeap. And so the Entrepreneurial Leap is all about entrepreneurs in the making, and early stage entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur in the making is just somebody who has identified they have what we call the 6 essential traits. They're actually a true entrepreneur. They have this DNA coursing through them. And we have a pretty unique perspective. We think entrepreneurs are born with that. So when I say DNA, you can't create it. You were created with that DNA. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But we help entrepreneurs in the making and early stage entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs in the making are they've identified who they are, and they're starting to figure out what type of business is for them and how to clarify that vision so they take a better leap, pun intended, into entrepreneurship, because certainly most of us do not. And I look back on my leap, and it wasn't the smartest risk-taking. It was for sure risk-taking, but not the smartest. So just a better leap. But for early stage entrepreneurs, that's just they've taken the leap. They have less than 10 people. So for both of them, our passion is helping them know, head and heart, wisdom, insight, know how to build the life and business of their dreams. And what we do is we light up the path of entrepreneurial mastery. And so when I say entrepreneurial mastery, that just sounds like a really fancy word. And really what that just is you're an entrepreneur from the day you were born, and you'll be an entrepreneur to the day you die. And mastery is just knowing thyself. Who am I? Like knowing who I am. That's so powerful to understand who you are. God, there's so many entrepreneurs out there, they're suffering because they don't know who they are, and they feel like maybe something is wrong with them, or they're just so different. And well, you're like 3-4% of the population. But mastery is knowing who you are. And mastery is knowing what you want. One of my mentors, Dan Sullivan, a strategic coach, he just says great leaders are great wanters. So what do you want? So now you know who you are. So what's in that heart of yours? What's that passion? What do you want to do? And it's okay. You can say it. Like, I know it's kind of crazy and maybe it's wild, and that's okay. Entrepreneurs change the world, and we want you to change the world. So what do you want? And then, well, how do I get it? How do I get it? And we get it through community. And so our passion is helping. We're here to help. So we show up in the form of mentors. That's what eLeap is about. So eLeap is about helping entrepreneurs know who they are, what they want, how to get it. And that's the whole path of mastery. Now, there's a different aspect to the path of mastery that really gives the actual how-to parts. So internally, it's who am I, what I want, how to get it. Externally, it's eLeap, confirming, glimpsing, and seeing the path, glimpsing heaven or hell, the dream or the nightmare, confirming you have the traits, and then seeing the path. And once you take the leap, ELA, the Entrepreneurial Leap Academy, is a 7-month academy designed to give them 10 years of wisdom and mastery. Gino's wisdom and mastery, as if Gino himself was mentoring them. So who wouldn't want to be mentored by Gino if you're aware of what Gino could mentor you on? Yeah. That's what the academy is about for that. That's eLeap. And so clarity, confidence, community. More on that in a minute. After that, that's the first piece of content of Gino's. The second is rocket fuel, which you guys do a lot of.
Yes, we
Visionaries and integrators, and the 5 rules and how to do that. Again, know thyself. What do I want? I want an integrator. How am I going to get it? I got to get some who's to help me. That's why I send everybody to you guys. You're the who for the how. That's rocket fuel. Mastering that. It's like a little mini operating system that Mark C. Winters talks about. So the first piece of the path of mastery is eLeap. Second piece, rocket fuel. The next piece, EOS Worldwide, and EOS Implementer, a subject matter mentor, somebody to teach, coach, and facilitate the implementation of this operating system, this holistic operating system this human energy management system. And along that road, as you take full responsibility and build out the life and business of your dreams, the life is the EOS life, doing what you love with people you love, making an impact, being compensated appropriately, and having time to pursue other passions. You deserve it, but you got to earn it. You're not entitled to it.
It's hard work.
It's the model plus the process. And then after that, it's shine. It's the 3 discoveries and it's the 10 disciplines. And so that's the path of mastery. E-Leap, Rocket Fuel, EOS, EOS Life, and shine. And so when we talk about mastery, there's 2 aspects. Who am I? What do I want? How to get it? And then those 5 pieces of content. And I just have this unique seat because I sit in the first piece of the seat. So our path is our whole passion, and the way we exhibit it is to light that path up. So I know that's a very long-winded answer, but I want to make sure that people understand. They might be listening to this and they don't know who they are and they're wondering, am I an entrepreneur? And this is kind of scary. Well, we're a whole collaborative community of entrepreneurs, so we just get it.
That's
and
awesome.
wherever you're on this path, we're all here to help. We all have the same core values. So I'll stop, but that's it. That's the passion. So
yeah, I love that. So when you see these entrepreneurs, when they first come to you and they're really in those early stages, what are they experiencing like in their life, in their business that helps you to know, they need this, they need this community to support them? What are some things they're going through or struggling with?
Yeah, and so Gino in his book E-Leap, and so if you're listening, you can buy the book and read it because it's very simple, not easy, but simple. We call them the 889 or the early stage entrepreneur assessment. And so if you've taken a leap and you have generating cash, or at least you're really trying to generate cash, I understand that struggle, and you have 9 or less people, you are who we focus on. And so if you're that type of entrepreneur, you've taken the leap, you have less than 10 people, you're for us. And the thing that you're struggling with, this is what Gino says, and this is so powerful, and I hope people get it. He says, look, I've worked with thousands of entrepreneurs, and I've built a company that works with entrepreneurs and the leadership teams of 10 to 250 person companies. And there's 8 critical mistakes that they're always making when we meet them. So he's speaking as an EOS implementer, and he's saying, hey, before you show up here, let me increase your odds of success greatly, because we can head off at the pass, which most entrepreneurs and leadership teams are still making. I call that somehow in spite of themselves, they made it there. But most of us spite ourselves and never make it to a session room with an EOS implementer. And so there's a lot of entrepreneurs that have read Traction. They go, God, I want to do this, but I'm not ready. And we go, right, let me tell you something. You can avoid 8 critical mistakes. Know how to avoid 8 critical mistakes, like not clarifying your vision or not crystallizing your numbers, not crystallizing those responsibilities. And so we teach, coach, and mentor early stage entrepreneurs so they know how to avoid those 8 critical mistakes, clarity of focus, knowing how to become a successful entrepreneur. There's 2 other pieces. Then there's the 8 things that they must do. Think about that. Think about how much you know about EOS. And Gino's like, same time, same place, same agenda, starts on time, ends on time. Like the must do. You must hit your numbers at 90%. That obsessiveness, the 10 obsessions, like he talked about in his last keynote at the EOS conference. And so that type of prescriptive work, you must do these 8 things. They're basically the antidotes to the 8 critical mistakes. Nice. And those, knowing how to avoid those 8 critical mistakes helps you avoid the nightmare, which ends up letting you fail. So take responsibility, avoid those 8 critical mistakes by applying the 8 must-dos. And as you do that, there's 9 awarenesses you must be aware of. Like, when is it time to hire an integrator? What are my numbers? How am I holding myself accountable? There's all these simple things, not easy things. But if you're serious and you really want to build a life and business of the dreams, we will teach you how to say yes to each of those questions. I know how to avoid that mistake. I know how to apply that must do. I know how to be aware and when I'm going to do that awareness. And so just simply those things, those 25 things, gives a early stage entrepreneur crystal clear clarity on how to become a successful entrepreneur.
So valuable.
There's 2 other things we give them, but if we just gave them that, like, holy smokes. I know that's what I would have loved to have.
Yeah.
Back when I first started my business, like, geez, it's like Gino told me this is what I have to do. Huh. It's the best. And it's the things that he's saying that the entrepreneurs with 10 to 250 person companies that you think are so successful that you want to be like, most of them are still making those mistakes.
Wow.
Yeah. So think about that for a second. And so we teach entrepreneurs in the academy, we coach them and we mentor them in how to have that kind of clarity. We do 2 other things for them that I know every entrepreneur needs because that's what I know I needed and every entrepreneur I've ever met needs. So this is just elemental stuff. We all need clarity because we have squirrel syndrome as visionaries.
Yeah.
And we all need confidence because the head trash in entrepreneurship is real. Like, so we work with frustrated entrepreneurs who are seeking help. They're open-minded. Like, they're appreciative of what we have to say. And they're willing to be open, honest, and vulnerable. And so, like, they want help. And so we show up and we help them by helping them have confidence in their path. But the path starts in, well, let's just clear the air for once and for all. Are you a true entrepreneur or not? And if you are, if you have these 6 essential traits, this visionary, passionate, problem-solving, driven, risk-taking traits, visionary is just you see around corners, you have a 6th sense, you just have this vision for things. So do you have it or not? Yes or no? Passionate. Are you passionate about your product, your service, your offering, your experience that you're going to give to the world? I'm not saying you're just passionate, but are you passionate about the thing you want to bring forward, the thing you want to create and give to the world? Yes or no? Are you a problem solver? Do you love to solve problems? I didn't say do you love problems. I've never been an entrepreneur who goes, I love problems. That's like being a sadist. No, I love to solve problems. Solve them. I'll solve them forever, and I love it.
Once and for all.
You got that trait? Think about IDS, right? And EOS. Well, are you driven? Do you have this internal fire in you? Like, you can't shut it off. It's not going to happen. Like, it's this drive that just is in you. It's a gear. Yes or no? Are you a risk taker? Good Lord, I know I am. Man, I make a lot of stupid and toxic mistakes of taking risks. Just not smart, not healthy and smart. But are you a risk taker? Do you take risks? For those of you, you're just looking back in your life like, yeah, no, that's me. I get it. And then are you fully responsible? Do you blame nobody else? You take full responsibility for your life. And so if you're like that, you're like half the world. Half the world does, half the world doesn't. But if you have those 6 essential traits, you can have the confidence to build your path, to follow your dream, to let what's in your head and heart out, because you actually are a true entrepreneur. You can now, what we call, burn the boats. Because you're sitting on the shore going, this entrepreneurial life is scary. And it is scary. It's really freaking scary.
Yeah.
And it's really scary when you're ignorant because you don't know what to do and you're alone. And so the confidence is you have what it takes. You have the ingredients. That doesn't mean you're good at them. You got to learn how to master them. But the clearing of the air to know, oh my God, I'm a true entrepreneur. This is my passion. These are my values. This is my range. I know if I'm a partner person or not. This is who I am. Just those 5 things. Whole. And now, wham, there's my path to build my life and business, the dream I have. And it's worth something. Like, how about that for confidence? Then the third thing is community. Look, most entrepreneurs, the reason they're really suffering is they're alone.
Yeah.
What in this?
Only at the top, they say.
Well, it's not even at the top because they don't feel like they're at the top. They feel like they're at the bottom.
Oh.
They do. It's the worst. It's a community to go. I mean, the first thing, Jen, I hear all the time in our academy is, I'm just so happy to meet people who go through the same things I'm going through. I didn't know everybody was suffering through that. And you'll see people cry. You'll see people collaborate. You'll see people connect. And so it's not just the experience in the academy collegiately, although that's powerful.
Yeah.
Meeting a mentor, somebody from the future. So we teach them to go meet people on our collaborative community. So a lot of our entrepreneurs showing up in the academy are coming from EOS implementers that are like, hey, you're not there on the path yet. Hey, I'm glad you met me. This is great, but you got 4 people. And, let's go take you to the academy and I'll mentor you. I'll simply serve you by mentoring you through this academy. And so now they have somebody from the future that's showing them what's up. And of course, Gino's mentoring us on the whole path. Mm-hmm. And so clarity, confidence, and community. That's That I know that's what I needed. I know that's what Gino needed, because that's what we created this business for. True entrepreneurs that didn't have the clarity, didn't have the confidence, and didn't have the community when they took the leap. If we can do that, holy smokes.
Yeah, if you could do that for one person and you're doing it for, lots of entrepreneurs, lots of businesses, like that's really, really great work. And I know you mentioned about integrator in when
Yeah,
you're ready for one.
sure.
So on this
Yeah, for sure.
podcast, we talk a lot about right fit leaders.
Well, let's go there. Let's sit
I
in
know
the.
you know a lot about this
Oh
topic.
yeah, for sure.
So can you tell our listeners, what does a right fit leader, when it comes to that visionary integrator dynamic, the two of them together,
Mhm.
what does that look like and feel like when that is working well and they are well matched together?
That's such a great question. So I'll connect it to eLeap right to rocket fuel, because after eLeap, it is rocket fuel. And
Yeah.
so, and then I'll answer your question. You might have to remind me of the question, but I'm going to get you to the tee up, just so there's a connective tissue there. And so in the academy, we teach, when is it time to hire an integrator? And so we have this lovingly cheeky saying of 6 months ago, right now, in 6 months, maybe 6 years. And all of them could be the right answer. Use your own problem solver. Use your problem solver to figure it out. Visionary spectrum. There's tools to use that we teach to do that. But they must decide. And I can tell you, it's one of the hottest subjects in the academy, because they're in pain because they haven't created a business. They've created the worst job ever, because they are essentially the integrator.
Yeah.
They're the entrepreneur owning it all. And they're also owning marketing and sales and operations and finance. And that's usually because, well, they're not really fully confident in who they are, and they don't really stick their neck out there enough to only go after their ideal client, to only serve them with what their real value is, to know that value, not to do everything for everybody, but to do one thing very powerfully and understand that value, and then charge enough for it. And once we get that fixed, now they go, oh, I think I could hire an integrator. I actually have money. I could build a business. When should I hire an integrator? And once we tell them the context of an integrator, somebody to lead and manage and create accountability for them and for their leadership team, someone who executes the business plan. I'm going to ask you your question as well. Somebody who's to execute the business plan, they'll be able to let go of the day-to-day. And this integrator goes, I got you. I'm on the same page with everything. I get it. I see your vision, the vision page, and all your riffs and all your tangents. I see all of it. I get it. And I'm going to bring traction to this company by having a 1-year plan in place. And we are going to hit these goals. I can drive it even further into a 90-day world and have these rocks and these numbers and these scorecards and this whole plan, this battle plan for the next 90 days to execute on. Some of the issues are long-term. Some of the issues are just us, VI. Yeah. Here's our leadership team's issues. And if we have partners in the owner's box, here's our owner's box issues and projects, special projects. But this integrator, once I start explaining to these entrepreneurs that that's what an integrator does, and they're P&L focused, because most entrepreneurs don't understand how to write a balance sheet. Street smarts, insight, but not that kind of acumen. They're like, yeah, so I need to put that in my plan. And it's like, that's right. And so they put a stake in the ground, win. And many of them are like, as soon as freaking possible, I'm getting an integrator. And I actually am an advocate for that, for what it's worth. I think entrepreneurs should find integrators sooner rather than later. And I think that's a miss in many entrepreneurs' lives. I think that's a lack of understanding. I think most entrepreneurs think hire an integrator is going to require like their left arm and a child to pull off. Or like it's like a fugazi. It's a fugazi. It's like it's never really going to happen. It's not really real. Like maybe the really somehow special people get one, but not normal entrepreneurs. And I just want to demystify that.
Yeah.
Like
And you need different integrators depending on where you are in your journey sometimes too, right? So maybe the integrator you have initially is going to be different than the one when you're at $50 million, right? It might be the same person, but it might not. Like that, you might need a different caliber leader at that point, and that's okay.
That's totally okay.
All part of the journey, right?
That's right. And so when we teach that in the academy and they make their decision, we send them off then to rocket fuel to start understanding who they are. Oh, This is a deeper level. I'm a visionary. I'm going to become this. I'm going to sit in this role. And what does that look like to let go of control and to give that trust to another human being? And that's, a lot of times they got to really do some hard work there. There's some internal work they got to do. There's fear in there. And there's control, identity, trust issues. They got to do that. They maybe probably need to go read Shine and do some inner work, set some layers, stuff like that, because they got to get ready to find this human that they're going to let go of control to. So when it's going really good, the visionary is spending like 80 to 100% of their time on the business. So I'm going to speak, a lot of times we talk about visionaries, we talk about integrators. I'm going to speak from the visionary lens for a second. Like I'm going to stand here and go, let me just put you in the cockpit of a visionary. So you want me to let go of control of my baby to someone I don't know? You want me just to talk to Jen over at Vision Spark and they're just going to poof, shit a human for me? Like, I'm sorry to swear, but like that's the kind of, it's visceral. Like, come on, like, how? They're going to ask me a bunch of weird questions. This tip assessment, somehow that's going to help me figure out this human. This is going to just poof, show up in my life. And we'll talk about my journey and many of my clients' journeys with you.
Yeah.
And you tell me like they actually can do that? Because certainly here's what happens when visionaries don't get a third party to help them, in my humble opinion. Yeah. We hire the wrong integrator.
Yeah.
That's it. That's as simple as that. And so when it's going good, they've in my humble opinion, I'm not saying you can't do it. I just haven't seen much of it myself because I don't think we're good at seeing ourselves, understanding our blind spots, having somebody say something to our blind spot. And we've never done it before. So we don't understand. It's so unique. It's just so different. And so
we see that too. So many visionaries, they're so
focused on what on that.
Yeah, on what they need the person to do, the integrator to do. What are the things I need them to do? They forget to look at the other side. Who do I need as my personality? Who would give me energy? Who would bring me joy to work with? Like, that's another really important element of finding this person that you're going to work a lot with and is going to be a partner in your business with you, even if they're not a business partner, but they're in it with you. They're in the weeds with you, right?
Yeah. So the lens is like, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you. You put the lens. That's the visionary lens. Like, oh, I'm looking for that human that I can relate to, that personality wise works with, that balances me out in front of a leadership team and partners, if we have partners. And they are a partner. You need to think about it almost like a marriage. You're letting go of a massive amount of roles and responsibilities, the day-to-day of the business. And so when it's going good, the visionary doesn't have rocks. The visionary doesn't have to-dos. The visionary doesn't have scorecard numbers. They're free to be in their sweet spot. I call it float and fight for the passion and the values and just IDS and problem solve well and just be out there fighting for the cause and then floating over it all. Not riding the waves of the week to week, but seeing the plan, seeing the vision and really having that 10-year thinking really happening and bringing that slowing down of thought end of everything and solving issues forever. And then this integrator is just executing the cadence, the row. They're just solving things. And they're tidy bowing everything, bringing full resolution. They are on the same page about everything. So whether it's my integrator, Greg, who you guys helped me find, or it's a client of mine or a partner of mine who has integrators, I know when it's working well, when the visionary is working on the business and these fresh, new entrepreneurial ideas are coming up because they're not mired in it. And I just see so many visionaries, they don't get it. They don't understand their job. Their job is to continue with the big ideas. And now you have this who to bounce them off of. Yeah. So you bring all of them to this integrator. Go, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And those 20 ideas, you stop just pummeling the leadership team with them in level 10s. You let your integrator execute. That's what they're there for. That's what the level 10's there for, not ideation, execution. Yeah. Then they're ideating in this really powerful way. And the integrator is starting to unfold these special projects and these new ideas and this culture and this change into processes and systems and the people. And so the core focus is really showing up in those three places with those ideas. You're really focused. I think the visionary is also at that point, they are the face. They're selling the future. They're not so much selling big deals. They're selling to the team what they see in the future. They really have a very powerful grasp on the vision page. It's very crystal clear to everybody. I think that the visionary's job there also lies of just solving big problems. When the visionary is sitting in a meeting or just thinking about something, going, oh yeah, this is big. This is where they have to bring that problem solving trait coupled with those other traits and really take responsibility, take some risks, bring some change, let that drive hit them, let that passion hit them, let visionary spark happen, and just see what flies. And of course, the good news is they can let go of the pressure of trying to perform on it because they just give it to their integrator. So now they have a human that can filter it and be like, that's actually illegal, but there's something else in there that we could do, and that's more like a visionary talking, but they can release that pressure. And so they can solve big problems by just coming up with constant ideas. And I love to do that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then they're also just great at culture. Like they have such a grasp on the core values and the purpose, cause, and passion and the niche, the value and the marketing strategy. They see how the client's experience should be, and they're totally all in on it and the proven process. And they know what the 3-year picture is. And it's almost like they're navigating to a certain degree. They're almost mentoring everybody. Like, let me tell you what I see. They're teaching, they're coaching, they're advising, they're counseling. So, that's the lens I see of a masterful visionary who has an integrator doing their job.
Yeah.
At least my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it right on. That's how you know when you have one. And if you don't have that happening, then you know that you don't have that right person in that right seat. How do you think that visionary integrator partnership changes, or does it change, maybe is the question, when the visionary moves into the owner's box?
Oh, that's a totally different conversation. I love talking. So now we've just flipped to another subject that I love called the owner's box.
Okay.
And so, quick story there. So I learned a lot about the owner's box because I was in a partnership for a number of years implementing EOS and not realizing the issue we needed to solve was in the owner's box. And so we solved it by me leaving, which was beautiful. Learned a ton, thankful for it, but also thankful to leave a nightmare. And it was a nightmare for us both. And so just real quick, if you're in a partnership and it's just a nightmare, life's too short. And it's really simple. There's just 5 things you got to get clear on. Are you both true entrepreneurs? Because if you're not, it's never going to work. Do you have a passion that aligns? Does their passion and your passion align? If it doesn't, it's never going to work. It's like a Family Feud. It's over. The game's over. Doesn't work. Does your core values align? Because if your core values don't align, it's never going to work. Do your entrepreneur range align? Like if you want to build a 200-person company at 25 million at 20% EBITDA, and they want to build a 10-person company with $2 million, like you're not going to solve problems.
Never going to work.
It's never going to work. You're not going to solve things. You don't think the same. And then, well, are you a partner person and are they a partner person? Because the worst thing ever is to be partnered with a person who's not even a partner person. And I did that and I didn't know. And now I know. And so just solve those 5 things and you can have a great partnership fit. Now it's also about staying in their sweet spot and understanding the strategy and structure, the VTO and the accountability chart and how that works. But to the degree that, just said that nugget. So maybe somebody's going to reach out and go, what did he just say? I need to know more. I get it. I totally get it. But as it relates to a visionary going to the owner's box, well, the real question is who's their successor? So I'll just use a model because it's easy. There's this guy named Gino Wickman. He's an entrepreneur, and he did this. Being a little tongue cheeky there. And so when Gino was the visionary and Don Tenney was the integrator, they had a plan, a 5-year succession plan. And in that 5-year succession plan, Gino was going to leave first and go to the owner's box and navigate a new visionary and ultimately a new integrator, and Don would leave later. And so when he did that, he found his successor in Mike Payton. And Mike Payton became the successor of EOS. And Gino went to the owner's box. And then Don later went to the owner's box as an owner in the company as well, and Kelly Knight was hired. And that's how that transition happened. Now, to answer what happens for a visionary when they go to the owner's box, well, they probably just want, in my opinion, just more freedom of their time, of what they spend their passions on. That's what Gino did, which created E-Leap in the 10 disciplines, or whatever else he's up to nowadays. But, just more freedom. And so I think it's more about why would you go to the owner's box and when? And then how? Yeah. So why would be you want more freedom, in my opinion. You want to be more creative with yourself and your time. That can be personally or professionally. And you want to make more impact. And that can be personally or professionally. Because I know Gino spends a lot less time in his professional life and a lot more time in his personal life. And so maybe that's you. You're ready to have that kind of freedom. Maybe you just want to be more creative with how you spend your time and you want to make more impact. I think those are the three things you should be thinking about when you're thinking about going to the owner's box. And you'll know why those answers will be there. You'll have the insight. I think it's time. Yeah. Then you got to have a plan. The win is the plan. You got to be on the same page with your leadership team, with your integrator, with partners, if you have partners. I just think it's three things that really set the stage for somebody to know when. And so the plan is, are we 80% strong in the 6 key components, like enduringly strong? Not like we just crossed the finish line. Okay, I'm going to the owner's box. Like, is this thing enduringly strong? Is your vision tidy bowed? Can this thing run for like 100 years? Like, is it like seriously? Is it ready? The next is just when you leave for a month on your month sabbatical, and if you haven't done that yet, you're probably not ready to go to the owner's box. But when you leave for the owner's box, when you leave for your monthly sabbatical, does the place run like a dream? Does it run like a dream? If it does, you're like, okay, now I think we're starting to get ready for that. And then the next one is the leadership team, the VI, that's you and the integrator, and your partners, if you have them, all agree like, hell yeah. Yeah, it's time, it's healthy, it's smart for you, for the ownership, for the leadership team, and the company at large, and our customers, for you to actually live in the owner's box and lead from the owner's box. They all agree. It's like a GWC yes, like yes, I got no issues. I got nothing. All the issues are solved. So I think if you can do those three things, that's kind of the win in the how. So hopefully that can help some folks that are there, because I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that are going, should I sell? Yeah. And I go, well, you can, but then what are you going to do with your life? And that's okay. You can sell. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want to sell, entrepreneurs don't retire. If you don't want to sell.
I was just going to ask you that. Knowing you're
how do you retire from being yourself?
What do you do?
How do you retire from being yourself? So a lot of you could pass on. Like my mentor, Rob Dubay, he's still involved with Image One. He's in the owner's box. He's replaced himself. And I think he's having a really good time. At least that's what he always says he is. Yeah. The owner's box is a place of leadership. And so hopefully that helps.
Yeah, no, that's really helpful for our listeners. So let's switch gears here for a minute, because we've talked a lot about your work with Entrepreneurial Leap, but with your work as an expert EOS implementer, what is something that you wish more leaders understood about that work?
That is a really, leaders. So I'm thinking you're meaning leadership teams. Is that fair? Or just entrepreneurs?
Yeah, or business owners, either one. What do you wish they really understood about that work as an implementer?
Well, I'm going to pretend you're an entrepreneur, because my audience is always entrepreneurs, and I'm always thinking about the entrepreneur. So it's easier. It's probably easier for me to contextualize that too. So if you're an entrepreneur, and I'm not sure how you would found us, but you're listening to us, and you're maybe you don't know anything about EOS, or maybe you know just a little bit about EOS. Maybe you read Rocket Fuel and somehow the algorithms, took you to Vision Spark and Jen and I. But however you're here and you haven't experienced what it's like to be in a room where it happens. Hamilton quote, the room where it happens, and you don't know what that's like, and that can feel kind of scary, and it is, because you got to be open, honest, and vulnerable. But to explain what happens in there, well, you're going to meet a human called an implementer, and this is somebody that's their passion is helping you build a life and business of their dreams. That they want you to master this operating system, this holistic, beautiful operating system. And they want you to be 80% strong. And so they are going to teach you this operating system, show you the context of it, help you catch vision for it. They are going to coach you along that journey to that context, help you see things you don't see. And they are going to help facilitate the implementation of it with your wisdom and your insights. So we are not consultants. We're not here to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. We're here to simply teach you a context, coach you in the tools and disciplines to get to that context, and then facilitate how to solve your issues and turn those issues into a plan, a strategy of ETO, and a structure, the accountability chart.
Yeah.
So we're here to teach, coach, and facilitate the implementation of this operating system. It's like a 2 to 3 year journey to get to 80%. Some clients want to stay on forever, but our desire is to graduate them. And so this is not a forever thing with us. It's always up to them. We're here to provide value. But the best part of it for the entrepreneur is they get to see their dream business emerge.
Yeah.
What their vision really has, AKA they got traction. It happened. And so they got healthy too. They got really open and honest, and all that stress it just goes away, because not only the vision's actualized and there's daily traction on it, but they're just a more open, honest, fun-loving team. We call that vision, traction, healthy. And so it's a process, it's a journey, but we teach them how to do it. And I have other passions, obviously, but on that leg of the journey, as being an implementer, I'll be an implementer for Jen for the next 25 years. I love it. I love it. It's one of the best things to do. And, the icing on the cake is when they earn what they deserve, the EOS life, they're like, my God, I just do what I love to do. This is like I can't believe it. I actually really understand my value too. Wow, this is really cool. And I love my people. Like, they do what they say they're going to do. I love them.
They hold themselves accountable.
They actually do it. Like, I don't have to yell at them. Like, they should do it.
Yeah, it helps the leaders too.
The only reason we love them. We love them because they do things we don't do. And we're making an impact in each other's lives, and our clients' lives, our families' lives. And that's the best. People are actually making really good money. They're getting compensated appropriately for their value. They know how to make more money. They know how to earn it, like Jill Young says, an earning advantage. And better than money is time. They literally can leave the business stuff at the business on the issues list and go home and be present. And that's
invaluable, right?
I've been a zombie for years, just stuck inside the business, even when I wasn't at the business. And so that's the EOS life. And so, that's what EOS implementation is about. If you don't know what implementation is about, and you're like, if that doesn't sound good to you, like, what do you want? Like, if you don't want that, I don't know what you want. But God, if you want that to run a great business and have a great life, it just works. So if you're interested, I just encourage you to reach out. You go to EOS Worldwide and, talk to the warm leads team, and they'll connect you to an implementer, and it'll change your life and your business, and you'll be better off for it. And if I'm wrong, you can call me up and tell me I was wrong. I defy you to tell me that statement was wrong, but I love you, so I'm here for you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do anything I myself wouldn't do.
It's great work. So from the early stages of entrepreneurship, you're helping visionaries through your work at eLeap. And then as they scale and grow, you're helping them through your work as an expert EOS implementer. Yeah. Can you tell our listeners, how do the leaders that a visionary needs change or evolve as they go through their entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. And so what changes is the level of performance. Okay. That's probably the easiest way to explain that. So I always think about football. There's Pee-wee football, there's high school football, there's collegiate football, there's the NFL. Let's use those as. And so sometimes when I meet entrepreneurs and their leadership teams, they're playing Pee-wee football. That's just what they're doing. And it's cute and it's fun. Like, let's get everybody in order. Let's get everything structured and let's go. And if that's their range, then they play Pee-wee football. And you can play great Pee-wee football. They do give people awards still, for winning in most Pee-wee football leagues. That's one of the leagues they don't get participation trophies. And so you can be great at that. And if that's your range and that's what you want to build, then it's beautiful. But if you are starting at Pee-wee football and you want to go to the NFL, well, either it's grow or die for some people, or it's grow or die for some people. And you're like, what the hell does that mean? So I'll tell you what that means. How about that? So what that means is really simple. So that means they either grow in their knowledge of who they are, and they really are dedicated to their love and great quadrant and the delegate to elevate. Love and great, like and good. Yeah. Not like and good. I call it hate and good. Not like and hate, or I call it, not like and not good, or I call it hate and not good. But they're really dedicated to their love and great. And the ones that grow and don't die, They know themselves and they know their value, and they don't treat the accountability chart like an importance chart. We don't have titles in the accountability chart. They don't treat the seats like titles, and they certainly don't feel they're entitled to it. And so what's fascinating and amazing about those people is many of them stay around for the whole journey up to the NFL. They're just usually not always on the leadership team. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I'm just going to give a shout out to somebody that I just watch in amazement. Her name is Amber Barrett. And if you don't know Amber over at EOS Worldwide, they went from, just lovingly respect, Pee Wee football to the NFL at EOS. And she's been on the leadership team, off the leadership team. She's been all kinds of seats. She knows her value. And she's just doing amazing work right now over at Rocket Fuel with Mark C. Winters as the integrator. But man, that woman, she doesn't have any ego. She just knows her love and great. And she just does what's right. And so shout out to Amber in that regard. I always tell my clients, be the Amber of your company if you want to stick around.
Yeah.
Those that are growing, we say grow or die, the ones that don't grow and they treat the seat like an importance chart and they can't let go and they get their ego and their title attached to it, they usually die in the sense of they don't stay with the company. There's a third grow or die, and don't be that person. Oh, it's so ugly and so hard, and there's nowhere to go because they can't take the blow to their ego to be off the title of senior leadership team. It's a fucking leadership team. What are you talking about? Just stop calling it something more than what it is. Sorry to try to get one little F-bomb out there, but there's a third one, grow or die, where they're so dedicated to love and great, they realize it's time to leave the nest and go do something else. Many of our EOS implementers, they come from leadership teams and they go, my God, I just realized I want to do this. I love this. It's great. Or they go to another company and that's beautiful too. So there's 3 grow or dies. And, don't be the one in the middle. It's icky. It's ugly.
Yeah.
So hopefully that gives you some help. Pee Wee to the NFL. Wow. So they change. So when they go, I'm not ready, they bring somebody else in that's ready for that league. And they might go from high school to the NFL. They might just be there for the high school run. Yeah. They don't make it in the college run. Now, maybe that's not the best analogy. Maybe I didn't do the greatest job. But at least that's how I think about it.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And we tell leaders too, when you have that, exit, whether somebody left because they had to be asked to leave or whether they quit.
Right.
And now you start thinking about that replacement. It's another time you want to be aware to look at the vision again and say, okay, where are we going? And now what leader can help get us there?
Did you listen to yourself there? Come on, say that again. Yeah. Yeah, because if they're ready to, if the person's getting fired, let go off the team because they didn't perform, their vision isn't being actualized. And so they do need to do a reset. They have been living some Groundhog Day, little Bill Murray Groundhog Day. Every day has been kind of the same. They've been stuck. And so they do need to get really clear and get their vision shared by all again and go, all right, well, what's this seat going to do? Because this human's not been doing what this seat's supposed to do.
Yeah.
God,
who's the human that can do that, right? Define that seat first. So important.
Yeah. Structure first, people second.
Yeah. So can you share with us how rewarding is it for you when the visionaries you work with get the right fit leaders in the right seats? They're breaking through the ceiling. You're starting to see that growth and them scaling. What does that feel like for you?
Well, I can give you two stories, my own and then my clients. I'll start with my clients first because it's the same for me. Do you see this immediate sense of relief? Oh, this person's got it. And that's the same page in this happening. This person's on the same page with me. And they might not be solving everything immediately according to what you need to get solved. Because many times there's kind of a pent up amount of stuff that needs to get solved.
Yeah. But
the relief is we're on the same page and we've got a battle plan to do it. We got a traction page to pull it off. It's a lot of relief. I also see a lot of release when it happens because there's a pent up amount of visionary fire is what I call it, visionary fire. That's up there that has been not happening in the company because they've been kind of stuck. Because usually when we're talking about this, the person's stuck, and it's time. It might be almost been time for a while. So and certainly that was my case and the case of many of the people I've talked to and worked with you on the last couple of years. So there's a release, and then they just get the reward of the VI relationship. So it's like they get this release or this relief, they get this release of vision, and then they start to get the reward, the ROI of this powerful relationship. The rocket fuel starts to happen. So the reward is they're doing their moonshot. And I call it the 3-year picture is believed. So when they get the relief, like, oh, there's this release, and then the reward happens because they're releasing all their entrepreneur energy into this execution machine, this integrator, who can pull off both. And rocket fuel starts to happen. It's magical. Like they start taking their moonshot. And the moonshot, in my humble opinion, is the 3-year picture. Like the 3-year picture is actually something we're going to do, not this
not a dream.
That'd be nice thing to happen. And so hopefully that.
Yeah, I love that. So can you share with our listeners?
Well, that was my experience too, for what it was worth.
Yeah. No, that's important.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, right?
Yeah.
Could you share with our listeners, if they're in the early stages of entrepreneurship, how could they learn more about taking the first step to avoid all the pitfalls you were talking about and apply for the Entrepreneurial Leap Academy?
Yeah, I love that. There's 2 things. You can go right to our website at e-leap.com, and I'm sure you'll put the stuff in the show notes. But go there. We have free tools. And so the first tool I'd ask you to take is the Entrepreneur in the Making assessment. This assessment will give you a checkup for the neck up of, do you have what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur? Because it's asking you, are you a true entrepreneur? You scored 90 or above, you are confirmed. All right, now let's get clear. You can do our BizMatch tool, industry size type, to help you understand the industry size and type you're really built for, because you might be in a business you're really not built for, and that might be why you're in the nightmare, or just to confirm it. So certainly to clarify. And then the tool called the Vision Clarifier that helps you clarify your vision. If you want to apply to this academy and learn 7-10 years of entrepreneur wisdom and mastery from Gino himself, as if Gino was mentoring you, and to spend 7 months with me or one of our instructors who are here to coach, teach, and mentor you, well, we need to get coached in, taught in, and mentored in at your stage, and you want that clarity, confidence, and community, you want to leap ahead for 10 years, well, just apply. We would love to talk to you. And so you're like, what's the qualifications for applying? It's really simple. You confirm you're a true entrepreneur, you're out generating cash, and you have less than 10 people in the company.
That's it.
Well, and you're open-minded, and you're appreciative and growth-oriented and frustrated, seeking help, and you want to be open, honest, and vulnerable. If that's all the case.
Yeah.
We built this academy for you because we love you and we want you to succeed, and we believe you deserve to live the life and business of your dreams. And we're dedicated to lighten up the path of entrepreneur mastery, so it is crystal clear how to pull that off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ryan, thank you so much for being here today, for all of your insights and wonderful resources for visionaries really at any stage of their entrepreneurial journey. I just have to tell our listeners, and working with so many of Ryan's clients, I've noticed a common thread. They're all visionaries who are really serious about wanting to get entrepreneurship right. Yeah. And they're growing their businesses, they're giving purpose to other people's gifts, and obtaining visionary freedom along the way, that's all part of that entrepreneurial mastery. So if that's something you want for your business and for your life, then you need to know and connect with Ryan Henry. So please tell us, Ryan, how do people work with, connect, and find you?
Yeah, I'm going to give you just the easiest way to connect, and I'll never stop doing it. And I've had this same cell phone number for the past 25 years, and some people tell me don't do that, but I do it all the time.
I do it too.
Yeah, here it's simple. Well, you know, because we text all the time.
I know.
I don't do email. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're like, I want to talk to this guy, simple. Here's my cell phone, 517-896-2552. Just shoot me a text and go, I just watched the podcast with you and Jen. I want to talk to you. I would love to. I love you.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you to our listeners. If you need guidance on finding right fit leaders for your team, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or visit our website, visionsparksearch.com, to request more information. You are only one hiring strategy away from taking the first step in finding your right next right fit leader.
Okay, hold on. Time out. I want to say something. This is the ad lib at the end, but keep recording because I know Jen just finished, but I need to give a plug for Jen. I have to. It would be wrong not to. So at eLeap, we decided to hire VisionSpark to find our integrator, our full-time integrator. And so I took the same risk. I've had 6 or 7 clients of the last 3 years with Jen do. So I did this. I am their client. They helped me They helped me find, and I found my perfect integrator fit. Perfect. And we have done more work in the last 2 months, it feels like, than we did in the last 2 years at eLeap.
I love that.
And I just want to thank you, Jen, for doing that and for what you guys do. You are a true collaborator of ours, and I do consider you a partner because eLeap's success and what we're up to is because we found the right who for all the how. So I have to say that. I know you closed the show, but I have to say
thank you for that. And I love working with you, love working with your clients. It's really an honor. It's a help them along in their journey. It's an honor. So
yeah. And so if you text me and go, what did all the stuff they do? I'm going to go, I don't know. I just trusted them and they did it and they told me what to do and I did what they told me to do. And we found the integrator.
Yeah, absolutely. You can email me, jyoung@vision-spark.com.
But if you're going to ask me a bunch of how, I'm just going to basically say what I just said.
Yeah. You just text them my cell phone number.
There you go. That's right. That's exactly what I do every time too. Appreciate you.
Love it. Appreciate you. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for listening to Right Fit Leader, brought to you by VisionSpark. Have questions or ready to hire your right fit leader? Email us at discover@vision-spark.com. Until next time, remember VisionSpark is your go-to partner for finding leaders and building teams.